Herbert Backe was born in Batumi, in Georgia, in the Russian Empire, on May 1, 1896. He was the son of a retired Prussian lieutenant, who had become a trader. His mother was a Caucasus German, whose family had emigrated from Württemberg to the Russian Empire in the early 19th century. In his childhood, he studied at the Tbilisi Gymnasium in Georgia, in 1905. He was interned on there, beginning of World War I as an enemy alien, as he was technically a citizen of Prussia. The experience of being imprisoned for being German, and witnessing the start of the Russian Revolution and Civil War made Backe firmly anti-communist. He moved to Germany during the Russian Civil War with the help of the Swedish Red Cross. In Germany, he worked as a laborer, and enrolled to study agronomy at the University of Göttingen in 1920. After completing his degree, he worked in agriculture and then got a job as an assistant lecturer of agricultural geography at Hanover Technical University. In 1926, he submitted his doctoral dissertation to the University of Göttingen, but it was rejected. He joined the SU in 1922, and in 1925, he joined the Nazi Party in Hanover. After the dissolution of the regional political entity for South Hanover, Backe decided to let his membership lapse. In 1927, he was an inspector and administrator on a big farm in Pommern, in northeast Germany. In November 1928, with the financial support of his father-in-law, he became tenant of domain of Hornsen, with around 950 acres in the district of Alfeld. He ran the farm successfully. After the Nazi seizure of power, he became the state secretary in the Reich Ministry of Food and Agriculture on October 27, 1933, and in the same month he joined the SS. Later becoming a member of the Prussian State Council, and in October 1936, was made the agricultural representative to Hermann Göring's four-year plan. When the Minister of Food and Agriculture Richard Valadares was placed on an extended leave of absence on May 23, 1942, Backe was tasked with carrying out his responsibilities, nominally remaining state secretary. He was also charged with Dares' responsibilities as Reich Farmers' leader in the Nazi Party national leadership. On November 9, 1942, he was promoted to SS senior group leader. On April 6, 1944, Nazi leader Adolf Hitler appointed Herbert Backe Minister of the Reich Ministry of Food and Agriculture. He was a prominent member of the younger generation of Nazi technocrats, who occupied second-tier administrative positions in the Nazi system, such as Reinhard Heydrich, Werner Best, and Wilhelm Stuckart. Like Stuckart, who held a real power in the Interior Ministry, officially led by Wilhelm Frick, and Wilhelm Onessorg in the Reich Postal Ministry, officially led by the conservative Paul Eltz-Rubenack. Backe was the de facto Minister of Food and Agriculture under Dare, even before he formally took over those duties. He was nominated by the Reich Minister for the occupied Eastern Territories, Alfred Rosenberg, as the Secretary of State of the Reichskommissariat Ukraine, where he could implement his radical policy, called the Hunger Plan. The objective was to inflict deliberate mass starvation on the local Slavic civilian populations under German occupation, by directing all food supplies to the German Reich and the German armed forces on the Eastern Front. The most important accomplice in the plan was Hans-Joachim Rieker, who headed the agricultural section of their economic staff East. According to historian Timothy Snyder, as a result of Backe's plan, 4.2 million Soviet citizens, mainly Russians, Belarusians, and Ukrainians, were starved by the German occupiers between 1941 to 1944. He was retained as Minister of Food and Agriculture in Hitler's will, and he remained in this position until May 23, 1945, in the Flensburg government led by Grand Admiral Karl Dönitz. After the German instrument of surrender, Backe was ordered by the Allies to fly to Eisenhower's headquarters in Reims, in France. He was surprised to be arrested, as he thought the Americans would need him as an expert to avoid hunger problems, He had prepared himself for an expected conversation with General Dwight D. Eisenhower. In a letter to his wife on January 31, 1946, he defended Nazism as one of the greatest ideas of all times, which he said found its strongest blow in the National Socialist agricultural policy. He was interrogated during the trials of February 21 and March 14, 1947. In his prison cell in the Nuremberg war criminals prison, he wrote 2 treatises, first a report about his life and his work on Nazism, and also a testament, outline for his wife Ursula and his 4 children. Because of his fear that he was to be extradited to the Soviet Union, he committed suicide by hanging himself in his prison cell in Nuremberg prison, in Bavaria, West Germany on April 6, 1947, aged 50.